All right, so let's get this show on the road. We got about a gazillion questions.
Oh, good, because my brain is filled with ordering this. Today I ordered all the forks and knives, compostable cups, compostable everything, huge giant, the big huge jugs you take to your kids' soccer games, so we can put like all the fruit juice mixes in there, and because it'd be too hard to just do every individual drink, so we'll just do ice, booze, juice in the big huge soccer jugs.
Nice.
I call them soccer jugs because I was always hauling those around. Okay, then I wanted to tell people, Thom is the most patient person in the universe because I missed 2 Zoom calls, and in a panic, I'm like, oh my God, it's Monday. I lose track of days over here. And so, yes, hi, baby.
And of course, Chasm wants to join us today. Like he's very barky. I may have to. You're gonna get 9 warnings. So he's looking at me like he's all upset. But yeah, welcome. So we are on. Are you frozen? Hold on. Oh goodness. Hello. Wait.
Yeah, can you hear me?
All right, you're back.
Oh, there we are. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you were.
Could you hear me when I was frozen? Because you were frozen, but I could still hear you.
I didn't hear you.
Ah, weird.
Yeah.
Oh, weird. That's very strange.
All right.
Let me see if I've got this strong.
Okay. All right. Well, in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Let's give this a try.
And
again.
I have 9 guys in my house, so let's hope no drills and cement mixers go off during.
It's all right. So we are at episode 3, which, as they say, the third time is the charm. So this should be the charming episode. And before we begin, I got a couple of quick questions, as has been the case on the first 2. Yesterday was Mother's Day, so I kind of wondered, how did you celebrate Mother's Day? And you and I had some communication back and forth via email, and you said something that intrigued me, and I'm sure fans would like to hear this too. You said, I got to get Todd ready for the road. And I kind of wonder what that entails, because I would imagine, like, my wife always gets me ready whenever I have to go on a road trip, which isn't usually 3 months at a time. It's usually just a couple weeks here and there. So I kind of wonder how much of that you can share in terms of just getting the guy out the door and getting him ready.
Yeah, you make his hair appointment, and it's usually because he went to New Orleans to spend some time with. We have a friend, Susan Lee, who was one of Todd's road managers way, way, way back in the day. So she's a dear, dear friend, has a beautiful house in New Orleans. So he went there for a couple of days to just chill because he's been coding night and day. So that just means before he goes, I lay out all the suitcases that he had on the road the last time, all the costumes, and let him take what he's going to wear. Because on the Daryl one, I'm never sure what he's in like what I pulled out thinking he would want. He's like, no, that's too fancy. It's going to be more casual. And well, you got to take a velvet shirt and jacket there. You got to take these pants and don't wear these pants. They're too tight. And and normally I don't say they're too tight because I'm afraid he'll say tough and put them in just for the game of it. And then I usually ship his suitcases. I take him to the airport, ship his suitcases. His guitars go out from Paul's. So with the air tags in them from now on.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Guitars, yeah. I know. I can't believe we didn't think of that before. So now they're all safe. And that's just pretty much it. Make sure he gets to the airport and has his orange. He makes his own breakfast. He squeezes his own oranges from our trees, and then he cooks his.
Oh, you froze again.
So he can teach people how to make 1 egg. And I haven't done that because I can't figure out how 400 people can cook 1 egg at the same time. So I just might have to tell him, oh, I forgot. We'll just let him demo it and not try to get hundreds of people making 1 egg.
So and how was your Mother's Day? Do you do anything? Do you do like the brunch thing, or how's that go?
Intermission.
Yeah, it looks like hold on 1 second, because we're freezing again. I'm trying to figure out what the issue is. I don't know if we should restart or should we restart? Let me restart it.
It's that I don't have makeup on. It's just going.
Is that what it is? It's going.
I have lipstick on.
Or it could be my bald head just the thing's like, no. All right, now hold on a minute. Now it seems stable. So should we try that again?
Okay, should I do that too with my screen? Sure. Okay, so
let's start over with the answer to Mother's Day, because we missed pretty much all that. And I can do the magic of editing, I hope.
So on Mother's Day, I went with Keone to a musical in town, which we don't have very many musicals hit town. He had to leave at intermission, and I left at intermission with him, just because it was, half of it was good and half of it was like, oh my God. So, and the reason I had to leave I didn't have to leave it at an intermission, but then I went to Rex's house, and Rex and his girlfriend Ku'u made dinner for all the aunties and the moms and the grandmas, and I had so much fun. It's the first time I'd gone over to the house like to drop Rex off and pick the girls up, but I'd never actually gotten to hang out with her family. And it turns out her dad was a DJ at KKCR when I was. And so we hit it off. And I mostly hit it off with Ku'u is Rex's girlfriend's name. You'll meet Ku'u. And her grandmother lived in San Francisco for years and years, decades, and kind of in the highlight of the 50s, 60s, 70s. And so we had a lot to talk about the Bay Area. Really got along. It was a blast. Mimosas and flowers.
It doesn't get any better than that. Is your mom alive still or no?
No, she's been gone for a few years, but she's here. I am my mother. I just look different.
I guess my sister tells me I look like my father, but I don't know. I don't see it, but all right.
And all the boys checked in, which was great.
That's fun. Good. So because I think Rex obviously lives over there in Hawaii, and then where's everybody else live? I mean, Rebob was in Portland.
Randy lives with his godparents, Al and Carla, in Cleveland. He rents a room in their house. And Rebop is in Portland, Oregon. Yeah. He's so Portland. He just fits in perfectly.
Well, and if he wasn't there would be no Gil. So we all owe him. We all owe him that. So that's a pretty cool connection.
Oh man. Yeah.
So because I think Gil was telling me, but then we'll get into the Toddstock questions because we have a lot of them. I think Gil was telling me that he has these music house parties or something, and that's how he discovered him. It was very interesting. I know my son's part of the Buffalo music scene, and they have different venues and stuff like that. But I guess the Portland music scene is something very unusual, and your son is an important part of it.
He was when he had his rental house, and he called his basement Moulin Rouge, because he was walking downtown Portland and saw this gigantic neon sign from the old strip club, the Moulin Rouge. So he called his friend. They put it in the truck and took it to his rental house. So once he actually bought a house in Portland, then he doesn't have a basement. So he's only done a few house parties, but they're not the big raucous things they used to be.
Well, who knows? Someday, well, hopefully they'll get more rock. Well, hopefully Todd doesn't need any more band members to, step in at 20 minutes to go before the tour, but it all worked out. All right. So are you ready? Take a deep breath. I got to do a disclaimer. Everybody out there listening, there were some late bloomers that got in some questions late. So if I don't read your question, it's nothing personal. It's just, if you're late, you're late. I can't get them all.
We'll do this again, though.
We'll do this again. Sure. I mean, we got at least, how many weeks do we have? It's got to be, yeah, like four or five. But we've been doing this every couple of weeks, and maybe we'll sneak in one for a week,
sure.
maybe two, leading right up to we'll call them the Panic Stock podcast, because that's when it's gonna be like, oh my God, what am I gonna do?
And then we could have one during Toddstock.
Oh yes, absolutely. So, all right, so here we go. We're just going to fire them right at you. We'll do them as quickly as possible. My dog Chasm is to the right here. As I mentioned before we went on the air, I got to see the real Chasm this week too. So go out and see the Gilmore Project. All right, question number 1. And I tried to make sure that nothing repeats either. So if you didn't hear your question exactly as written, it's because it was written by somebody else differently. I thought this was a good one. Can we ship stuff ahead and pick it up when we get there? And you were mentioning about how when Todd goes on tour, you ship stuff. And is that a thing for the island? Is there an address or something?
Well, there is no place to ship stuff on the island. I mean, there is, but they don't have any room to store anything anywhere. So they're only used to getting like 1 or 2 packages. So I thought the only thing that we can do is ship them to our house. And if it's okay, I'm just going to give our address out on our next podcast. Okay. So it's a little closer. And the open house is going to be at our house the very first night anyway. So everybody's got to get the address sooner or later.
Okay. All right. Yeah. In the age of the internet, it's not that hard to find addresses either. So,
yeah, but I know somebody actually sent Todd something, which over the years, people have figured out how to send something to us so that Todd can sign pictures or whatever. But in this past year, somebody that got a signature must have put it on an autograph site, because he's got homework every day now. There are at least like 10 pictures he has to sign almost every day.
Yeah. Well, that's good. He's, and an aside here, somebody was just asking me the other day how many Todd autographs I have. I can't even tell you. I think it's 15 or 16. He's always been really, really good about that. And even though there's the formal meet and greets, like a lot of times I'll just catch him walking up the backstage. He's always given me time, and he's a very accessible artist. And I mean, I don't know, you get the word to him. I think that's great. I mean, it's so hard to get an autograph. So, folks, you don't need to mail stuff to him. You just got to catch him up, go to a show, catch him backstage. I don't ever remember a time that he didn't come out and at least have a cursory hello, unless he wasn't feeling well or something, I assume.
Right. Or if he felt like he had a bad show, then he just wants to get to the bus.
Yeah.
And there'll be, I think we said it in one episode, one other podcast, that there will be autograph time.
Okay.
We're going to set it up like we usually do.
All right, so this one keeps getting asked too. Has the Todd Night theme been decided on yet?
Well, don't you think we should do it on his birthday? Yeah, I mean, I don't think we have done that. We haven't decided on the theme, so I'm going to decide now.
Okay.
I think
somebody said something. One idea might be the 7 rays, but it's only one day, so 7 rays. I don't know.
Hold on. I am so sorry. I'm just going to go put the dog outside because he's
no
peeing
worries.
I have a paralyzed dog. I'll be right back.
Okay.
You don't even have to... Okay. That's okay, baby. That's okay. Okay, baby. Yeah, good boy. Okay. Sorry.
Oh, trust me. No, it may happen on my end to get my guy out here, but he's actually, doing pretty good. He seems to be in contentment. We just had a new ceiling fan put in the room, so I think he's just enjoying the moment.
Oh, yeah.
So what's the theme?
So, you know what? I will talk to I have kind of a team. I think it should be on Todd's birthday, but let me check with the team and see if everybody wants to like dress up like nice or something on his birthday. I don't know, but I think that would be a funny thing. And I'm not telling him any of it.
Okay. Yeah. Formal night would be fun.
So I'll get back to the next podcast.
Next one. Okay. There's always next time. There's always more, as a song once said. What?
There's always tomorrow. Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes. A beautiful song.
For dreams to come true.
What is the registration procedure for late arrivals?
Go ahead and just email the person that's helping me. I think it's Toddstock info. I might have to... shoot, is my phone here? Yeah, I'll go on my phone while we're talking and figure out what that email is, because it's automatic on mine.
Yeah, because I'm assuming there's not going to be a whole ton of them.
Yeah, it's TS, like TS as in Sam, 75 info@gmail.com. So that person is helping me with all the registration.
Okay.
And they can answer what those kind of questions. I don't want to get it wrong.
Yeah, no. Yeah, somebody shows up late and they don't have the right procedures. They're going to be angry. We know. We don't want angry people.
Yeah.
Will there be daytime activities at Common Ground like there were in Virginia?
Yes, there will be. We're working on several people want to do yoga stuff. We'll have an arts and crafts thing. In fact, this is for the people at home as well as the attendees. I'm building a stage 32 by 24 and it's 4 feet high. So it's 32 feet across. And because it's 4 feet high, I don't want to look at all the lumber underneath. So I thought a really cool thing to do at Toddstock and also for people at home, if they would like to participate in this, to make a 1 foot by 2 foot something, just a piece of art that I can put Velcro on the back of. And then we're going to make all of those 1 foot by 2 foot pieces will be the stage drape, skirt is what you call it. You call it a stage skirt.
Yeah.
So I'll have it divided in half. And we'll switch them around every day. If we have too many, we'll just keep rotating them.
Nice. Yeah. And I assume we'll just mail those to people that aren't bringing them. You can just mail them to your house when we get the address out next podcast.
Right. Yeah, and you'll get our address here on your next podcast. So.
All right.
But remember, when you guys are sending things, don't send everything you own because it's going to be me, hauling them in. So into somewhere under a tent. I don't know where I'm going to put it yet.
You could build you could recreate the Ra pyramid with just all the boxes. Maybe
yeah,
just
there you
something
go.
like that.
Yeah.
And people can climb to the top and get their stuff.
Big blue tarps.
There was a follow-up question, I guess, on the daytime activities because you mentioned yoga. Someone asked if there was going to be a supply of yoga mats.
No, I don't think so. I think we do want people to bring their own, a beach towel or a yoga mat.
Okay.
Beach towel, I think would.
So good.
And there are different yoga things. I mean, they also have chair yoga and mat yoga and freestanding yoga, I've heard.
My wife's favorite is black cherry yoga. That's yogurt. Sorry, that was a bad joke. She really does like black
we
cherry.
Also we're hoping to have ukulele lessons.
Ooh.
And I'm waiting for the person that owns the Honolulu Strings Company to get back to me. I email him every single week, but he's sailing right now, not on Kauai, around the world. So apparently hasn't gotten into a port to answer. Can you give us a couple prices on buying ukes and then having them? We will have them for you if you don't have your own ukulele.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
yeah,
we'll have different classes in the beginning and not advanced probably.
One of my prized possessions is a signed ukulele by the entire arena band. I caught them out back, which is very nice.
Oh, cool. Okay, but Thom, don't worry. I've done this 5,000 times, so don't take offense. It's ukulele. Uk, okay, even though it's UK. Uku means little flea or head lice. And so it's a little guitar. Ukulele.
See, now here's the thing. So you live on I very rarely pronounce the name of your island that you live on because I always get it wrong. And I'm fearful. I'm going to say it the way I always say it. And I know it's wrong. I always say Kauai, but that's not it, right?
You know what? People pronounce it different ways.
Oh, okay.
So I pronounce it Kauai.
Okay.
And my Hawaiian friends say Kauai, but I've heard Hawaiians say Kauai.
Yeah, I mean, I've been known to. Well, I mean, I'm from Rochester, New York, so I say a lot of things funny. But so it's ukulele.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go. Remember that, folks.
I grew up saying ukulele too, but it's ukulele.
Well, we will no longer say that. What are Michele's? I love the way this is written. Top 3 don't miss sites and/or tours.
Oh, okay. I loved going through the inner tubing through the sugar canals.
Ooh.
I loved that. I thought that was so much fun. My mom, who's super claustrophobic, loved it too, because anytime you go into one of the tunnels, they're all natural, like stone stuff that they carved out to get the water into the cane fields, and it's not claustrophobic. You can always see the light at the end. Some of them are short, some are long, but you can always see the light at the end, and it was just super fun. And then there are a lot of great gardens. The one I love the most on my island is the Princeville Botanical Gardens. Now, because it was in Princeville, I was prejudiced. I was like, that's in the middle of the like homes and stuff. Why would you go there? Princeville, you can't have a big enough garden. It's amazing. It's a private estate, and the people that moved there many decades ago spent all their fortune just planting native species all over, and lots of rock and terracing. And it is a bit of a hike, so unfortunately it's not wheelchair accessible. So if you are walking with a cane or a wheelchair, then I would suggest my second favorite is Na'anakai, which is 3 driveways down from our house. And that is Kilauea. Okay, Na'ana. Let me write it down and then I can tell people how to spell it. Hopefully I'll spell it right. Okay, N-A space A-I-N-A space K-A-I. And yeah, Na'anakai. Na'anakai. Aina means land.
Okay. Boy,
yeah,
I'm getting a little Hawaiian
and that's because
today.
They put you in, they put you in like a little shuttle, a really low to the ground shuttle, open. You can hang on stuff. You don't have to stand. You can sit, and they drive you around to show you. It's very interesting. And it was started by Mrs. Doty, who was the divorcee of Schultz. So she came with her into the marriage with Peanuts Schultz, Charles Schultz. Was it Charles?
Wow. Yeah, Charles, yeah.
And she had money. They got married, then they got divorced, and she got more money, and she spent it on this garden that she just died a few years ago at like 97. She was still out there with a shovel at 93 and working it. But she devoted her whole life to a sustainable gardens that aren't as flowery as like Princeville, but it's pretty interesting.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Boy, you really know a lot of the history
of the island. Because the kids were in school, and I really wanted to assimilate. So and especially being part of the radio station, so many Hawaiians worked at the radio station too. And it's a beautiful group of people here on this island. I love it. It's every morning when I wake up and look out there, I just can't believe I live here. It's just so beautiful. And I thought Oregon, where I grew up, that nobody could top that. Living on the coast of Oregon, but yep, topped it.
Well, that's wonderful. Question about shirts for those of us who live abroad. Are they being mailed, or will we get them at registration? And when does registration begin on the 17th?
Registration begins at, I think I said 5:00. The same time cocktail hour starts. So I might bump it up, but probably 5, because I'll need time to get everything ready, even up to the last second. And yes, their shirts will be here. It just takes too long to get it to them. We're worried that they wouldn't get them in time.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to speak to Danny O'Connor to see if we can get more shirts here so that people could purchase them and take them home.
Cool. For
others.
Mr. Danny
and
O'Connor.
We'll get some girl shirts. Hopefully they're girl shirts too, because right now they were just guy cut.
All right. Let's see. This is a long one. Will there be some kind of evening shuttle from Princeville to the venue, back to the evenings, like to the Foodland parking lot, or drop us off like a church bus? And then the other follow-up question to that was, what is the smoking situation? at the venue? Is there a designated area for tobacco and an area for smoking not tobacco? Oh, asking for a friend. So I guess that's a marijuana smoking and tobacco smoking.
I have a feeling that all non-tobacco smoking will be anywhere you please.
Yeah.
It's the jungle. It's way out, we're out in there. And then we'll come up with a tobacco smoking area, which will be as far away from me as possible. Sorry, people.
Yeah, get one of those. Remember those old bus shelters? We used to have one of those at a place that I worked, and then eventually all the plastic there got yellow stained. So yeah, just build like a little impromptu 1970s bus shelter. And
as far as smoking at our house is concerned, I don't smoke pot. Obviously Mr. Rundgren does. So it's pot is anyway. It's fine. I know some people will be so shocked. But cigarettes, neither of us can stand it. So we're gonna tell you to walk somewhere where it's swampy. I don't know. I'll figure that out too for those who just can't are jonesing for their cigarette. So I'll come up with that. Shuttles. We are hoping we do have one shuttle van, but it's only 12 seats. I've not heard from the bus company that I applied for 3 months ago. They said they're so short staffed, it takes them 2 months to reply, and haven't heard from them. So I got this 12-seat shuttle, but we're really going to be aggressive about hooking people up together that have places in Princeville. And yes, the shuttle will do just like a church does. Drop you off, or just like the old folks home, they take you to Fred Meyer and they bring you right back to your front door.
Yep.
So yes, we will have, hi baby. Okay. I have to pick him up. No, I'm not. No, it's not time to chase the chickens. It's not time. I tried to pick him up. He's like, no, chicken time.
Oh goodness. Gotta love our dogs. Oh, look at that guy. See, people this is audio for most people, but there's a face for you. Dachshund?
Yeah. Dachshund, yeah. Little paraplegic. Everybody will kind of have to look out for him on the ground. I got him some pinwheels so that his little wheelchair, you can see it from waist high then with the little pinwheels on it. But since he's in a wheelchair, I named him Harley for his wheels. He's fast.
He's got a cute face.
Okay, I'll get you. We'll go get chickens a little later. We'll get him. Oops, sorry, Thom.
Yeah, no worries. What time do we need to leave Common Ground at night? Will it be available during the day to hang? And can we bring a lunch with us?
Yes, you can bring your lunch. We're going to do the continental breakfast. You can bring food and all that fun stuff. You can bring, beverages and stuff too, although we'll try to have just regular coffee, and then juices and stuff and water. I have these big water towers I'm so proud of. I can't wait to set those up. You know what? I think I picked up Harley before I finished the shuttle thing. We're hoping to do a very, very extensive carpooling chart, I guess is what you say, or at least get people hooked up with, are you staying at the Wyndham Bali High? Are you staying at the Bali High Resort? Because that's easy to mix up. And do you want to carpool with a non-smoker, or do you want to carpool with smokers, or kind of that kind of thing? We're trying to get that survey. People have gotten a lot of surveys from us.
Surveys, yes. So you're great. Sounds like I guess you call that the buddy system.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, and then we have a contract that everybody will be sent, I think this week. And the contract is really just be kind and, take care of yourself and don't sue us if you do something dumb.
Yeah. Don't sue us. What a litigious society we live in. My coffee wasn't hot enough, or it was too hot. There's been lawsuits.
It disrupted my biorhythms.
Yes, my biorhythms are no longer the same. Speaking of crazy situations, not to get too far off track, I wasn't sure if I was going to ask this, but I have to ask. So that Lori Vallow situation, wasn't she? She was on your island, the one that just got convicted.
Yeah, the crazy ass lady.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably got to be a big place, but man, that must have been a little bit of the talk of the town, wasn't it? Or just
it was.
Oh yeah,
it was. It was actually locals who got rid of her because it was just wild, weird stuff going on over there. I can't remember the details, but it was pretty gnarly. And basically, the Wainiha people. Wainiha is the exact end of the island. Very locals, meaning lots of Hawaiians out there. And so all the neighborhood banded together and drove them out, just circled the house and kept honking, talking, singing, chanting, yelling, and finally drove them out. And they flew out and were arrested on the other island.
Oh, thank goodness. What that is, I don't know. I love podcasts. Hence the reason we're doing this one. But man, wow, that was a crazy situation.
So what was the podcast? You'll have to tell people what the podcast was.
There's a whole, but there's probably like 5 or 6 of them. But 48 Hours just did a whole series of them, both television and audio, with the Lori Vallow trial and everything. Yeah, and he was Dable. Chad. It was Chad Dable. I think her married name was Lori Dable. I mean, this woman had so many people killed. It was just ridiculous. And then they believed it was some kind of weird demon, and I don't know. I mean, I'm not a Mormon, but they gave Mormons really, really bad name.
I had no idea. She said she was Mormon.
She did, yeah. She believed it's some kind of. It's like any faith, I guess. You can twist it into whatever you want. I mean, my oldest son was raised Mormon because his mother's Mormon. So I don't. As I said, to me, Mormon's not a demon and then kill your children because you think they're demons. Religion. Yeah. That's not. I don't think that's anywhere in the book.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't remember hearing that one, because if, my son was like, I'm a Mormon, I have to kill my children if they're possessed. I'm like, you got to find another religion, kid. Come on.
No, that's just crazy, lady.
Yeah. She was nuts, but man, it's like not even taking a plea. Like, I mean, how do you sit on the stand and someone's like, why'd you kill your kids? Well, because they were technically already dead and they just it was just a demon. And the only way I could get rid of the demon was to kill them and burn their bodies. Oh, okay. Well, that sounds reasonable. I mean, it's just... wow. But anyhow, we digress. So
they're gone. It's safe.
So listen, anybody that's going to Toddstock that thinks anything like those people, we'll surround them and just get them off the island, right? We'll do that. So don't come with crazy demon killing.
Coming.
Yeah. I know. Let's see. Somebody said house tours. They said they're not going to be there till late on the 17th. And I think we've talked a lot about house tours too.
Yeah, we're going to do another one. I think I lied, not knowing I was going to lie. I said on the next one, we'll say exactly what day we're going to do that. So I think we'll do it on the daytime one on Monday, mostly because I don't want to have to keep the house clean for that long. Keeping my house clean is very difficult for me. We're both done and messy.
We could all relate, trust me. We can all relate. Okay, this one. Goodness, this is a long one. Let's see. A little more clarity on the check-in and check-out. If continental breakfast begins Sunday the 18th and ends Saturday the 24th, does check-in begin at 5 p.m. Saturday the 17th? And is anything planned for Sunday the 25th?
Yes.
Or is that our checkout date? And should we all say our farewells on Saturday the 24th? Did you get that question?
Yes.
Okay.
So check-in is at 5:00 on the 17th. Cocktails and check-in and watch the sunset, and we'll have some music going. It might be pre-recorded music. Just, I don't know, maybe a friend of mine has a band. I'm gonna maybe ask her if she might come and play a little later. And then the next morning is the very first continental breakfast. Last continental breakfast would be on the 24th, right? Let's see. Wait. Let me look at this.
I think the 25th is when everybody's leaving, right?
Yes, 25th is when everybody's leaving. And the reason we don't have a continental breakfast on the next day is that they will charge us $6,000 per day to rent that, 6,000 plus. So we don't want to have to pay $6,000 for all of us to have a continental breakfast.
That's a lot for a cinnamon bun, you know?
Yeah. So the last meal that Toddstock will have together will be on the 24th.
Okay.
And then Secret Society will play.
Cool. Yeah, I
looking forward to that.
I find it ironic you have a continental breakfast when you guys really aren't even on the actual North American continent, right?
I know we should have. Actually, it will be more island breakfast because we're going to try to get like papayas and pineapples and croissants and.
And we were just talking about lawsuits. You don't want somebody suing you for false advertising, having an island breakfast instead of a continental breakfast. I might have just saved Toddstock, folks. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
My lawyer thanks you.
Yeah, my lawyer thanks you. The official attorney of Toddstock 75. This is an island breakfast. Yes, that'll be on the contract. All right. This is any possibility of a Todd-led doggy walk down to your beach from the house.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah. The only trouble with that is that every night we drive down there and it's a super tiny parking lot. We drive down to the parking lot and then we walk our dogs. Although in the summer the sand is softer and so Harley can't go. So normally Todd just takes 2 of the dogs and I take 4 of the dogs up on their walk up here at the house. It's hard to walk down to the beach because the road is so windy and the drivers are terrible. They're all racing to get to the surf and they're not looking to watch out for people. So I think let's plan that to walk down, but I'm going to have somebody literally block off the road while people are walking down. And then maybe on the way up, I'll just have somebody tell everybody, like, be careful, there are people on the road. I mean, yeah, it's ridiculous. There's one hairpin turn that Todd and I always take at like 5 miles an hour because assholes are coming like, oh, they just go the easiest way. And we've been almost clipped like 40 times.
Wow.
He always yells at them.
Safety first. Well, that's it. The only other, there's been a few questions about the actual schedule. I assume that's forthcoming. You don't need it this minute, folks, but it'll be coming as soon as it's all fleshed out, right? It sounds like there's still some contracts and all that other stuff that are, like you said, with shuttle companies and things like that you're still kind of figuring out as you go along.
And even common ground. We're slow here on Kauai. Even the contract, I'm going there tomorrow. I've been bugging him. Hey, this is coming up. I asked you 8 months ago, can we sign a contract tomorrow?
Yeah, well,
but it's fine.
I'm a procrastinator. I appreciate it.
They're excited because a lot of things that we purchased a lot of things because it was cheaper than renting them. If there's money left over, I will definitely tell people like, oh, we all get $50 back. But it was cheaper to buy the tents than rent the tents.
Wow.
So it was, and the chairs and the tables, because it's a little teeny island. There are only 2 companies that do that. And it's wedding season. How dare Ruth give birth during wedding season? Oh,
unbelievable.
Did she know we were going to be on a wedding destination island someday? So Common Ground's pretty happy because I've decided that I'm going to do lots of events for nonprofits on the island, and I will have, and all Todd fans, I call them Todd fans, I hope that's all right. All of us Todd fans have contributed to the infrastructure to be able to do that.
Oh, that's cool.
So maybe I have to send tax donations to everybody every year, donation certificates.
Yeah, we could well just little. You could do like little stock certificates. Like I think the Green Bay
Yeah.
Packers. They're all owned by the city of Green Bay and all those. You get a little stock certificate that you're never going to turn in, but you could just own it. In fact, I think I still have. In fact, I know because I was just packing up some T-shirts, and unfortunately, I don't fit into my Tiki Niki shirt anymore. But when you first started the restaurant, it was like a fundraiser where we bought the T-shirt and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
and then the fish tank. We never got the fish aquariums because the price, I don't know why the price like skyrocketed to being like, oh, great. Well, now we can't get these. So, yeah, that was weird. Sorry about that, everybody. Yeah.
Well, I just know I got the T-shirt. I was perfectly happy with that. This is good. It's a nice T-shirt. I just ate too much food. Now I can't fit into it. It's sad.
There's a really nice walk too. For people that you can walk to a lot of places when you're at Common Ground. And one is, I haven't even been there. I want to go check it out. You can walk to the dog park. You can walk to a place called Stone Dam, which is only a few minutes walk, or 10-minute walk, I think. And I got to go and see what that is. Or maybe I'll just wait and go with everybody else and see what's at the end of that little walk from where we are at Common Ground. But yeah, get more questions coming, and then I will have a lot more info. I'll have the address of where everybody will register. I'll have the address where you can send stuff.
Cool. Yep. See, so this is all the teaser for next week. So tune in next week. Do you remember Batman? Same bat time, same bat channel.
Same bat station. Was it the station? Oh, the channel. You're right. Channel.
What will Michele do? Find out next week. So yeah,
when the plumeria ends.
But
no, that was when the world turned. When the plumeria turns.
I mean, overall, it sounds like obviously things are coming together, and it. I guess the key is, I mean, as most people know, I'm not going, but those of you that are going, I think you should just prepare to be relaxed and do some things that aren't, I mean. If you go away on a vacation or a trip and you try to jam too many things in, you're going to regret it. So just enjoy the moment. And I'm even listening to you talk about how beautiful the island is. Take the opportunity to just take it in. I mean, to me, that sounds like the most important aspect of it.
I think everyone should walk on Hanalei Bay. It's just, then you can say you did. If you get in the water a little bit, it's that's why I don't know if people saw the Intoxicats video where I walked down the pier and jumped off the pier into the bay. That's Hanalei Bay. And it does have parking. It fills up pretty fast, but just a morning or a sunset walk is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh, and you and I talked about this before, but yeah, anybody that has pictures or a little statement wants to we do have a memorial. I'm going to have almost like a blackboard built. So the size of like a big classroom blackboard. It won't be a blackboard, but we'll be able to pin things or tape things up there and have seats out there for people to just kind of sit there and check it out. Someone is making a really fun thing. I don't know if it's a surprise or not, but and they're having little stickers that we can do the dots on the map from where everybody's from.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Yeah.
Isn't that a great idea?
That is a very nice idea. Yeah.
People are coming up with really super cool ideas.
Yeah.
And if you have those ideas, the email that we read off is the place to go. Should I read it again?
Sure. Read it again.
Okay. We'll do this again. And that is TS as in Toddstock, lowercase, 75, lowercase info, info, at gmail.com. So if you have something you want to do for people's, just email and we'll see if we can make it happen. Can't make everything happen.
No.
So somebody wanted to trek up a waterfall, but it's pretty precarious. But I'll ask Keone if he wants to take people on some dangerous walk to a waterfall.
Oof. No. I live near Niagara Falls. I'm over the whole waterfall thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, very good. Well, as always, this has just been a pleasure. I just love these. It's I'm having a lot of fun with it. Who knows? Maybe even after Toddstock, we can do a little podcast thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But See how I just slipped that in there, planted the seed.
Thom, I forgot one really, really cool thing. Is that some people know this. I really wanted a documentary about Todd's life done while he's alive. I didn't want it done afterwards because anybody can say anything they want, and he's the final say on yes, that happened, or that did not freaking happen. So we have gone into a collaboration with a production company, and they're going to work on a documentary of Todd's life. They're coming to Toddstock.
Oh, nice.
And I think that will be really great. So everybody that's coming to Toddstock will be a part of the documentary.
Yeah.
And I think there'll be time they'll talk to some people.
Yeah, the book kind of ends right around the time you guys get married, if I remember correctly. And then Billy James did some stuff, and I think that ended around, I want to say like 1990, and he never finished the last series of books. So, and a lot has gone on since you guys have gotten married. I mean, in terms of like, I actually wrote a long bio piece for the Rundgren radio site many years ago. They've actually asked me to update it, and I've been a slacker. But there's just been so much stuff that he's done since, like the heyday, so to speak. So it'd be nice to see everything kind of put together. I mean, there's a lot of little things too that we don't think about. Even that virtual show, I mean, that was so groundbreaking. It wasn't something that was done before. Or even, I've got my CD-ROM I'm looking at right here from No World Order. So there's just a lot of cool things that it'd be nice to have it all put into one little nugget of wisdom, a good documentary. And I know the Tubes, I mean, they've been talking about, I think Michael Cotton was saying for years he was going to do a Tubes documentary, and that never really came to fruition.
Well, the only reason it didn't come to fruition is someone broke into Michael's. Actually, I can't remember if they took it on from the baggage claim or if I think they broke into Michael's and stole a lot of things, including all of the tape libraries of all of the shows, all of the documentary interviews. And yeah, it was pretty sad.
Oh, well, I'm devastated. That's horrible.
Yeah, Michael was. Oh, it was really horrible. Yeah, Michael was the keeper of all the visuals, and darn, we were always hoping maybe that whoever took them would just like drop them somewhere and somebody would return them to us. But it's been 25 years, so
wow,
I don't think we're getting them back.
Well, you never know. There was a whole bunch of audio tapes from the Grateful Dead. They were called the Betty boards, and I know that there's a lot of Dead fans that are Todd fans that they kind of materialized after many years, because I think somebody bought them out of a storage locker or something. So I don't know. Hopefully they're not destroyed like some idiot threw them into the garbage. I mean, I don't know why you'd steal that stuff unless I think there's something on film that people can get, like, I don't know, it's something mercury or something, is it? I don't remember. But
I don't know, but yes, let's just say that's going to happen to us too. That's going to happen for us.
Well, I mean, there was a good portion of Todd stuff that was lost in a fire in Woodstock, I know, at one point, but it's still, I mean, I don't know. I look back to the positive. I'm looking forward to the Todd documentary. I think that's going to be a fantastic project. So, and fans, I mean, and these days, my gosh, these guys, they just know how to make really, really good music documentaries that are compelling, that are fun and enjoyable. And it's a thing, I love watching music documentaries, love them.
And, I don't think they'll mind, but if anybody wants to go check them out ahead of time, or maybe I should ask them. Oh, well, it's online. It's called Octane Media. Okay. That's the company, Octane Media. And they've done some really fun things. Yeah. I have to thank my friend Chip, from my best buddy from high school. He started working with them. And when I mentioned to him that I wanted this to happen, he goes, I know who to do it. I know who can do it.
It's always, I got
some guys.
All right. Well, very cool.
Thanks, Thom.
Well, as always, a ton of great information. And again, to wrap it up for the third or fourth time, thank you very much. We will be back in a couple of weeks. So yes, keep the questions coming. We've got email addresses. We're going to have a whole bunch of other stuff coming up. That's my wife's signal saying that she's taking the dogs out, in case you heard that in the background. But hey, we didn't have a lot of distractions in the background this week either.
Yeah, we didn't.
So
Except for a little wet puddle for yeah. I just took care of.
all right. All right. Well, very good. And again, we'll see you in a couple of weeks. This is Thom Jennings. And of course, I'm here with Michele Rundgren. And
Aloha.
aloha. We'll see you then.